پارلمان کانادا، کمیته خارجی، اجلاس کميسيون حقوق بشر، استماع سرهنگ، وسلي مارتين، فرمانده جیاتیف و نیروهای حفاظتی اشرف.
Keep that in mind, you're always on camera. We have today as a witness Colonel Wesley Smith, retired Colonel Wesley Smith of the United States Army, to talk to us further in our study of the situation in Camp Ashraf. Colonel Martin was the commandant of the camp and had additional experience in Iraq and as well as in other areas, and is in a position to provide us with considerable light on this subject. So without further ado, Colonel Martin, I'll turn things over to you.
Chairman, I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. As the first force protection and anti-terrorism officer for all coalition forces in Iraq, as the former operations officer for Task Force 134 detention operations, and as the first colonel to command Camp Ashraf, I cannot say with enough emphasis that the MEK is not a terrorist organization. As we are aware, last April there was a brutal attack on Camp Ashraf that was well documented in a video. I hope everybody has had a chance to see the video. If not, I would request and recommend to take a look. Viewing the video, we witness unarmed people being run over by American-made military vehicles and being gunned down in cold blood by Iraqi soldiers. There is something else that warrants our notice and respect. Ashraf residents are rushing to the aid of their fallen comrades, braving the bullets in the vehicles, knowing they may be the next to die. Last February, Ambassador Jeffrey testified to that he was certain that Maliki would keep his word and protect the residents of Ashraf. Maliki's forces had already attacked Ashraf once. 2 months later came the April attack. As we speak here, Maliki has Ashraf residents under continuous psychological torture with loudspeakers, denying residents sleep while forcing them to listen to messages of pending doom. Logistics and medical support are being denied from entering the camp. The victims of the attacks with open wounds and broken limbs must endure the pain with no sedatives or medicines to prevent infection. Last month, in writing, Maliki stated his intentions to the European Union. A copy of that document is provided with my testimony. The United Nations have recognized the residents of Ashraf as applicants for refugee status, but Maliki has blocked any actions from taking place, just as he blocked Congressman Rohrbacher's delegation from visiting Ashraf. One major tool he continually uses to justify his actions is the terrorist designation. Maliki has stated that Camp Ashraf will be emptied of the Mujahideen al-Khalq by the end of the year. He has already renamed the compound Camp New Iraq. Many people have called upon Maliki to end the 31 December deadline and allow UNHCR representatives into the camp so they can complete their work on relocating the residents. Until that time, peacekeeping forces need to be on the ground with him. His attacks in 2009-2011 immediately followed visits with the U.S. Defense Secretary Gates. Next week he visits with President Obama. The sooner he does it following his return from the United States, the more he can make it appear as a U.S. government-sanctioned operation. Unfortunately, we entered Iraq without a good understanding of the region. This time the government is becoming more and more aligned with Iran. Khomeini once stated, "The road to Jerusalem is through Kabbalah." We have played a critical role in opening the passage. We've made a lot of mistakes, and many people have paid the ultimate price for those mistakes. Unless positive steps are taken very quickly, thank you for this invitation to speak, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you very much, Colonel Martin. We'll begin with a questioner from the government side.
Thank you, Colonel. I really appreciate your testimony here. It's nice to have somebody who's been on the ground and seen it firsthand, and you've clearly done that. In your testimony, you talked about the arguments that others make. Can you just, for the benefit of our committee, go over all of the arguments that have been made to buttress the case that they should be listed as a terrorist organization, and address those concerns for our committee?
Okay.
So address the concerns that have been raised, and what's your perspective on those concerns?
The MEC was founded in 1965 by a group of students that did some study. And what they came up with was there should be equality between the leaders and those being led. Clerics should not have final say over the interpretation of the Quran. And clerics should not expect blind obediency from the congregation. Okay, that does sound like Marx and Lenin, but that also sounds like Jefferson and Madison in the writing of our own Declaration of Independence and our own Constitution. One of the comments made, especially at Camp Ashraf, well, they wear all the same clothing. But we are talking about the National Liberation Army. Of course, all armies wear the same clothing. Then comes the issue, well, they divorced and they live separately of each other.